Yo, beef Wellington or cool beans Wellington? Which one will it be? I don't know. Today I'm going to be embarking on a mission and making a unique beef Wellington called the cool beans Wellington. No, it doesn't involve beans. Don't get excited. I'm sorry to disappoint you. There's no beans here. It's pretty similar. I'm just going to substitute a few ingredients, try and make it a bit unique. And believe me, there's nothing wrong with a good old classic beef Wellington. I love classic beef Wellington. Don't get me wrong. I just decided, over Christmas time, everyone's making a good beef Wellington. I thought, let me try and change this up a bit. So let's fucking get into this. Welcome to Cool Beans CV. My name is Jared. Thank you for tuning in. Let's fucking do this shit. Get excited. And hopefully you can learn something new. Maybe you can give it a try. Who knows? And I literally just woke up, so still trying to adjust to the light. My eyes are like, but we're gonna carry on. It's gonna be fantastic. So obviously we have to start off with our lovely piece of fillet. Now this piece of fillet weighed 770 grams. It is quite a thick boy, I won't lie. I did not expect it to be that thick, but we move on. I used a generous amount of salt here. I like to salt my board, it makes it easier to roll around, otherwise the salt kind of just falls off if you're not using fine salt. Generous amount of pepper, roll it about, make it have a fucking fantastic time on that wooden board. Now, get your pan on, we're going to get it to a nice high heat, put some olive oil in, and you're gonna sear that bitch. You can use some neutral oil if you want. It's probably actually the smarter call because you want it on such high heat. But I had to be a bit bougie. So we're basically gonna sear this motherfucker off for probably a total of 3 minutes. Rolling it around, getting it on all sides, making it look fucking sexy. Right? After about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, you're gonna take it off. Now, I'm not using Dijon mustard. I'm rubbing this with horseradish sauce. Because why not? I love a good horseradish. I think it is highly underused and a lot of people don't actually know about it. Now, we've got some celeriac here. We've got 2 celeriacs. Funny looking vegetables. If you don't know what that is, then get a life, alright? Okay, we're going to peel them like that until they look nice and naked. And I'm going to show you how I brunoise my celeriac, which is basically mini cubes. I'm going to slice them like that. Slice them into almost matchsticks. Turn it around and then do that, and there you have some nice brunoise, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with these. Do it to the rest. There you have them. Now I have a shallot here. I'm going to dice this very fine. Now the finer the better. Basically, you do not want this chunky at all. We're going to do the same thing to the garlic. The garlic I didn't do as fine, but that's okay. You can kind of get away with that. Next we're going to be frying all of these components. In my pan, I added a generous amount of butter and some olive oil, a good mixture so that the butter does not burn. I added my celeriac. Celeriac's quite a hardy vegetable. You can fry it for a while. You want to make it nice and soft. I added a generous amount of salt, definitely needs that. We're going to fry that. Add some peps. Toss it about till it looks fucking magnificent. Now it's been about a couple minutes. I add my shallots. Toss that about, probably fry that for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then I proceed to add my garlic. 30 seconds later, I add a little bit of water because the celeriac's still a bit hard. I want to soften it up a little bit. Wait for all of the water to reduce and then take it off the pan. Spread it on a tray, nice and wide so that it cools down quicker. Now I've got some baby Mario, 4 of them to be exact. Now I'm going to slice these up nice and thin with my peeler. Just like that. I got me some king oyster mushrooms here, and I'm going to do the same thing, but I can't really peel it nicely, so I'm going to use my knife. If you trust your knife skills, give it a good go. Slice it as thin as you can, because we do not want this thick, and you'll see why a bit later. Nice and thin. You see, now we're going to get our same pan on. Now I'm going to season the pan with salt because it's not really nice to put salt on mushrooms and then all the salt falls off. So at least with the salt being on the pan, you can fry it and then the salt will be nice and absorbed. We're going to fry this quickly on high heat, pretty much under a minute aside until it looks like that. So take it off. We're going to do the exact same thing with our baby marrow. We do not want this overcooked. I let it rest on a drying rack so that it can rest nicely. Anyway, now I'm going to get my crepes recipe going. The recipe will be on the screen. I got 2 crepes here, spread them out nicely. I'm gonna take my baby marrow, and I'm gonna do that. Wowza, that looks cool. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my king oyster mushrooms on top. Now this is basically to substitute my mushroom duxelle that you would traditionally make and the prosciutto. Now I got that, now I'm going to roll it, start it there. This is going to be a mess, I won't lie, the celeriac really made it difficult. A lot of it falls out, but we made it work. So you kind of roll it up, you grab the other bit of the crepe, you roll it, see a lot of the celeriac's falling out. It's normal, it's okay. Tuck in the sides, and then I'm going to take my cling wrap, and then I'm going to roll it nice and tight, like a fantastic burrito. See, I keep on tucking it in there, making sure it is done properly. More celeriac falling out, that's okay. Tuck my cling wrap in on the side. We carry on with life. You're gonna roll it like that, and then you're gonna carry on. Now you have your big, lovely, fat burrito. You're gonna let it rest for a minimum 1 hour in the fridge. Now I've got my puff pastry here, good quality. So now I had sheets here that weren't big enough to wrap around the whole thing, so I kind of had to make a plan here. So I cut a piece of the second sheet over and I pinched that close. Couldn't even tell the difference at the end, because I did such a sterling job, if I must say myself. I pinched the ends off like that. You don't want any holes in there, you want to seal it off. And now I did not have the lattice tool, that's okay, I kind of did my own thing. Do your own design on top. The world is your oyster, my friends. Do whatever design you want, get creative. I just did that, plain and simple. Now the key here is to use a tray that was preheated in the oven, so that that tray is already very hot. And I put my baking paper on top of the tray, and in the oven it goes at 180 degrees Celsius for 35 minutes. On fan, if it's not on fan, then put that bitch on 200 degrees, and there you have it. Now I have a sauce here, just a classic red wine jus. We're going to take our Wellington off, and we're going to let it rest for about 12 minutes, cut it up, and then you shall see the magnificent results. Thank you. Now one thing I should say, if your Wellington is much smaller than this, you can up the temperature of the oven and do it for a shorter period of time. That's my advice for you. So let's say I did this for 180 for 35 minutes because it was such a big piece. If you got a smaller, I'm going to say a normal size piece, then I would recommend doing it on 200 degrees fan for maybe 25 minutes, maybe even less. Thank you so much for watching. It's been real. Hope you try this at home. This has been Cool Beans TV. I'm out.